Welcome to After the Whistle. We're talking about time and how different ethnic groups manage time. That's a story for another day, but welcome to After the Whistle. It's a three-man weave today. We got Todd still here. He's here. We haven't said anything crazy the past couple weeks, so we ain't been canceled yet. And we got the host of The Flex, Mr. Craig Campbell, is here in the building. Three-peat. We talking football. We talking Super Bowl. We talking a whole lot of stuff. WWE, NBA. So it's a jam-packed show. So let's get into it. Super Bowl 53 coming up. Patriots, Rams. You know, first outlook. What do you guys thinking? Getting closer to game time kickoff. So what are you guys thinking of the approach the Patriots should have for this game?
Oh, you know, I think that the main approach is going to be on the defensive side of the ball and who they have cover who correctly. You know, I said it on my show. You got to put Gilmore on Woods, and then you got to have McCourty over the top to keep Brandon Cooks from getting anything long. If you can stop that and then manage that run game, because that two-headed monster is going to be dangerous. Yeah. We all know C.J. Anderson knows how to run against the Patriots, and Gilmore might be the best running back in the NFL.
Gurley, you mean?
Oh, Gurley, yeah. What did I say?
Gilmore.
Yeah, Gurley might be the best, so
yeah,
you got to shut that game down.
Yeah, Gurley is the key to the Rams. Mm-hmm. He didn't have a good NFC Championship game, but he's the key to the Rams. Yeah. And he's their best player. I've said it numerous times. Anytime that guy gets more than 15 carries a game, the Rams are more likely to win the game. So Jared Goff is good. He's a good quarterback for what they do. He gets the ball down the field. He could throw it, but you got to make Jared Goff beat you. And we haven't seen no team make Jared Goff beat them. The Cowboys, we don't even know what they were doing on defense. Then the Saints, I don't know what they were doing either. But so the Patriots, what they do best is they take away, they make you beat them the way they want you to beat them. If you're going to beat them, you're going to do it in an unconventional way.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And when you're talking about Gurley, he's like one of the most efficient weapons with the Rams just because, like, he has 19 less carries than Anderson in the playoffs. Yeah. And he only has, like, 52 or 50, like, less yards. So you definitely got to hold him. Goff seems like he's just managing the game. But on the offensive side for the Pats, they're going to come and compete, man. Adam is doing this thing. James White, he's also, a big-time receiver for them.
Yeah.
And he was absent in the AFC Championship game. I hope that they did that with the aspiration of going to the Super Bowl and wanting him to be healthy because you didn't see him at all.
Yeah, I think they use more the pound game with Michelle and Burkhead. That's what I want to get to. Those two guys, Sony Michel and Rex Burkhead. Also, James White as well. You see what gave the Rams problems in the NFC Championship game was Ingram and Kamara. And then the Saints just, for some reason, they went away from that because they had no answer for Kamara coming out the backfield, and it seemed like Ingram up the middle, they were getting whatever they wanted until they started to get pass happy. So the Patriots definitely going to have to use James White against those linebackers because the strength of the Rams defense is that front four. They got Donald, Sue, is it Fowler or Flowers?
Flowers.
Yeah. Those three guys. All those guys can get to the quarterback, and you have to. I'm pretty sure they'll probably double team Donald, but you have to. If you can neutralize those defensive linemen, then you got a good chance.
I think that they definitely need to utilize Gronk on the offensive line the way they did again in the AFC Championship. He's doing a really good in the blocking scheme. But what I like, what you said about Kamara against the Rams is like we have that in 3 running backs. So running up the middle, you can have Sony Michel pass catching out of the backfield with James White, and then short down yardage with Rex Burkhead. I think that 3-headed monster is going to give you everything that you had with Alvin Kamara, but with 3 running backs, keeping them fresher throughout the game.
Yeah,
so
that's true. What about the Patriots defense? They've been, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. They're the Chiefs. They were, that's up. They did well. The Patriots did well in the first half, and then the Chiefs just. But the Patriots defense this postseason has been playing well for the most part.
Well.
Especially that Chargers game. They definitely made the Chargers look normal because the Chargers probably had the best wide receiver tandem coming into the playoffs with all those big receivers, and they shut them down. And I think their defense could do more of the same against the Rams because the Rams have good, not great players on the outside. So you got to get physical with them, especially Brandon Cooks. You get physical with them, you make them one-dimensional.
Plus, the Rams showed that they're not that great at protecting their quarterback. Goff's been sacked, you know what I mean, a good amount of times this postseason. So, and Brady looks like he's barely been touched at all.
Yeah, you got to give props to the Patriots offensive line. They've been.
That's going to be a big key is the offensive line. Can you stop the best defensive lineman in the NFL from disrupting Brady? Because if you disrupt Brady, he gets frustrated. So if they can stop Donald from getting through, that will be a huge win for the Patriots.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to stop a guy that had 20 sacks as a defensive tackle too.
And he's playing for a ring, so he's got more on the line right now. You know, Brady's got the ring. You know, a lot of Patriots players have a ring right now. So, you know, Donald and Goff and Gurley, they all want it more.
And, you know, he's worth that contract they give him. He's showing why he was worth that contract.
Absolutely.
Some people thought the Rams were crazy for giving him all that money, but you know, the season he put together, he showed he was off it. Let's talk about the Rams and what are they going to do? What are some keys for them to win this game? We talked about Todd Gurley, but who are some of the other players on offense that we should watch out for?
Well, I like the fact that they're utilizing C.J. Anderson. I like the fact that they found a way to make their run scheme work for him. You know, he went to Carolina and he went to the Raiders and he was not productive. And he comes to the Rams where they used kind of what I like to call the Patriot system, where they take a player and they utilize him in the exact way that he's most effective. So if you continue to do that, and now you have a two-headed monster in the run game, you know, it's going to keep them both healthier longer throughout the game, making them even more dangerous when it comes into the second half. So I think the run game and getting at Brady, if you can get Donald and Sue to bust through that line, I think that's going to be the two keys to the Rams winning the game.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, to be honest, like if you look at both teams, they are kind of similar. They got dual running backs. They have a couple of receivers they can go to. I'm not really big. I'm not too sure about this Rams tight ends, but we all know what Gronk can do. Yeah. So it's really, to me, it looks like it's going to come down to coaching as well. You know what I mean? Who's going to do what adjustments at halftime? Yeah. Who's going to have the proper schemes at certain points of the game?
Well, yeah. Back on the running game, I think because C.J. Anderson in the past has had good games against the Patriots. There was that overtime game back in Denver a couple of years ago where I think he ran for over 150 yards or something like that. Had a big game.
Big game.
Also in the AFC Championship game, he had a big game.
He's the reason we lost.
Yeah, so C.J. Anderson definitely knows how to have success against the Patriots defense. Also, Wade Phillips. Last time Brady's gone up against Wade Phillips' defense, he hasn't had a very good game, and they both resulted in a loss. The last one I can remember, AFC Championship game a couple of years ago, Von Miller had about two sacks, an interception, hurried him. He was just all over Brady the whole time, and nobody on the outside could get open. They were really physical with the Patriots. So the Rams defensive backs got to be physical. We know Talib, he's always going to play physical. Marcus Peters, he gambles. He freelances. He freestyles a lot. So there'll be opportunities to get plays on him because sometimes he's out there freestyling. But if you throw an errant pass, they'll pick it off. Because in the NFC Championship game, they could have had at least 3 or 4 interceptions and they just dropped it or didn't make the proper play. But if you give them a chance, they won't pick that off.
Yeah, and that's another thing. If you're talking about the cornerbacks, with 2 cornerbacks like Peters and Talib, the one thing you have to worry about with them is focus. You know, they tend to draw a lot of penalties, and if that could be a key factor to the Patriots winning the game. If you can't get them to remain focused and disciplined, you know, they're gonna give up those penalties on third downs. That gives the Patriots another chance. And anytime you give the Patriots a second opportunity, they're gonna take advantage of it. So you got to make sure that those 2 guys are focused and make sure that they're disciplined when they're out there on coverage, because penalties cost games.
Most definitely. Most definitely. And the Patriots haven't been that penalized this postseason.
Very low penalties this season.
They've been really disciplined.
Paying attention to detail.
Yeah.
Doing your job.
Definitely.
What's my D Ford? D Ford, what's so hard about putting your hand behind the line of scrimmage? That's all you had to do. Put your hand behind the line of scrimmage, and y'all would be in the Super Bowl. But don't get me started on that. So let's talk about coaching. This is interesting because you got Belichick. He's like 70 or something like that.
Yeah, right.
You got a guy that's our age, McVay. So this is two different. It's like old generation versus new generation. There's so much storyline happening here. So when he first starts with the coaching.
Well, I said it on my show, is that I think you have the best quarterback coaching combination in the NFL, and Belichick being the best coach that we've seen maybe in ever. And then you have McVay, who I think is the newest best coach in the NFL. I think that 5-10 years from now, we're going to be calling him the best coach in the NFL. So it's really great to see that combination. You're getting to see the new versus the old, the best versus the up and coming. And I think that it is going to be a great chess match between these two guys. I think they're going to challenge each other. One of the best plays I think for McVay that he ran was against the Saints to get the clock time. No, the run out of the backfield with Jared Goff. It's third down. If they don't convert, Saints get the ball back, and Jared Goff. Game? Was that the Cowboys game?
The one that sealed the victory.
Oh, I thought
that was the
in my
Cowboys.
head. I thought that was the Saints game. Well, I messed up the Cowboys game, but that was a great play. He fooled everybody with that, and I was impressed. He used Jared Goff's legs, he used some distraction, and got the first down to seal the victory in that game, and I was very impressed by that move.
Yeah, and they were saying that is Jared Goff this good, or is he a product of the system? I think this is just a coach finding a quarterback's strength and using it. Because we saw what happened when Jeff Fisher was coaching him. He was just trying to ruin his career, like he did to Vince Young. So, yeah, I think McVay's gonna, and McVay's shown that he'll do some risky stuff. The fourth down fake punt he did against the Saints, that was a bit risky, but it worked out. So he'll have the defense on alert because you just don't know what to expect because they might throw some trickeration or do something. But McVay, he's definitely somebody to watch for. But I think Belichick, this is like his 9th Super Bowl as a head coach. I think he's been in like 11 overall. So been there, done that. So this is nothing new for him, but it's just like, now he's got to, use what he knows to try to outcoach the next generation head coach.
It's the way I'm looking at it is he gonna keep the torch or is he gonna pass it? So we'll see.
Yeah, this is like one of those games though. It's like it could be like the passing of the torch. Whoever wins, because the Patriots win and then what happens? Maybe Brady changes his mind, retires, and some Patriots players retires, and then it'll be an opening for the Rams, an opening for the young quarterbacks in the AFC. It'll be a passing the torch for that kind of way.
I think even win or lose, it could still be that situation for McVay, because if he puts on a good show and he makes it a great game, and they lose by the classic Patriots field goal, 3 points, I think it will really show people, what he's doing, because I do think that he is adopted in some ways the Patriots way. He knows how to utilize his players and how to get the best production out of them from where they're at, because he doesn't have the best linebackers in the world. He has two older seasoned cornerbacks and a second-year quarterback, and now you're making it to the Super Bowl against the best team in the NFL. That speaks volumes for his coaching ability.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we'll see what happens, but it's definitely. I hope it's a good game.
I hope we win. I hope the Patriots win, but I hope we win by 14 points. I can't do it any more of these heart attack games where it comes down to the last minute.
That's how it goes, man.
The last 3 Super Bowls, right? The
last three Super Bowls, man. The last 3 that we were in.
It's literally been the last play of the game.
And the last 4 Super Bowls we were in, it's all the same thing. It comes down to that last play, and then your heart's beating out of your chest. You can't breathe. You think you're gonna throw up.
What's crazy about this Patriots win. This is their third Super Bowl rematch.
Oh, yeah. Wow, I didn't think about that. Yeah, it's the third Super Bowl rematch.
That's crazy.
That is pretty crazy. That's pretty awesome.
But also, too, like, in passing the torch, because I was the last one to really talk about it, you know what I mean? No, it's funny. But I would say, like, you know, every 10 years kind of like change, you know what I mean? And how long is Belichick going to coach for? So once he's done, McVay's is the next guy up in all reality.
I hope Coach Belichick coaches until he's on a respirator.
If there was a coach to do that, it'd probably be him.
You don't need to walk to be a coach.
You know, and he would say that.
Yeah, he'd probably be in a nursing home and he'd still be coaching
Calling it in.
I feel so.
Like, oh, it's better. All right, so Super Bowl Sunday, we'll have our predictions at the end, but you guys probably know where we're going.
Come on, man. You know we from.
But yeah. Other NFL news, the Pro Bowl was this past Sunday. The Pro Bowl. I'll let you take it away first, look, before I get into it.
Yeah, we all didn't watch much of it, like a lot of America. You know, yeah, my man didn't watch any. We were at the gym. I caught a little. We caught more than I did. You know, just seemed like a fun-loving game. From when I seen the AFC won 26-7, all the QBs from the AFC all completed 7 passes, and they didn't throw over 15. Yeah. So it's kind of like equal opportunity for everybody. It's a fun-loving game.
It's literally a scrimmage, it's like one of those preseason scrimmages you have with another school or something. But my thing is, how does the NFC only score 7 points? This is what happens when you put Cowboys coaching staff on there. How do you have all those talented players and you only get 7 points? Granted, it was raining, but still, how do you only get 7 points in a Pro Bowl? When a team's not even refusing to play defense, nobody wants to play defense. They just there just to be there.
It's like a circus show, and like the fact that you can only put up, you're supposed to be the best of the best, and you can only put up 7 points. I don't know. I feel like even without a coach, you should put up more than 7 points. So I guess that just goes to show you how awesome the AFC is compared to the NFC. Because was anybody else surprised that Dak Prescott was a quarterback in the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, I was actually. I was a little surprised. He ain't even 4 for 11.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, the other 2 Pro Bowl quarterbacks were playing bigger games. I think
you're right.
I think Drew Brees probably.
Drew Brees didn't want to play football. He's crying.
After the championship game, I'm sure he didn't want to play. No. And then Goff is out there.
Yeah.
So but since we talk about Pro Bowls, the Pro Bowl used to be competitive. Yeah. It used to be. There was a point it was really competitive. It was a real game. The guys, they went out there, they went full speed. I mean, Sean Taylor damn near took the soul of a punter. I watched Randy Moss. Torch the top AFC defensive backs one year, and those were the good days.
It's the business of football is too big. You know what I mean? They have to watch out. They have to watch out for their prized possessions, obviously, because a lot of you guys have endorsement deals and whatnot. And it's like, how hard can you actually play in this Pro Bowl game? It's football, so violent, so dangerous. It's like them guys are trying to go home and just enjoy their vacation, man, and enjoy the off season.
Also, I think what ruined is that they have it in Miami now because some of the players use that as a vacation because you get to go to Hawaii for a week or so. You know, you can bring the family out. So when they changed locations from Hawaii to Miami, it was kind of like, I mean, we could go to Miami anytime we want. I mean, damn near all those players are there every other week or during the off season. So it's like. It was more unique when it was in Hawaii.
But didn't they move it because of like the lack of support and things like that?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I was actually disappointed when I found out when they stopped having the Pro Bowl in the Aloha Stadium. Like, I never watched the Pro Bowl, but I like the fact that it was played in a stadium that they don't play football in. I thought that was cool. So I kind of thought it stunk that they took it out of the Aloha Stadium.
I just remember the last Pro Bowl I actually watched. They were talking about having the next Pro Bowl in Miami, and they were saying like some of the reasons why, and I'm thinking that might have been part of the reason, and they don't take it seriously, and it's like, I'm sure there's some money that goes into having it in Hawaii compared to just having it in Miami.
The NFL should have done a better job of bringing more fans out there.
You could bring fans to London, but you can't bring fans to Hawaii?
Before we get on to Cam Newton, How you guys feel about these European schedules, flying teams out to Europe to play an NFL game? I think it's terrible. I think it's the worst idea. I know I get you want to expand the brand of the NFL, but still putting these guys, some of them, they just play the game, then you put them on a plane and fly across the pond to play in Europe, and it's like, you know, soccer is big in Europe. Why?
They're trying, I mean, for one, like, you know, football is a combination of rugby and soccer, and it was created 2 years after soccer was even created. So I don't think a lot of Europeans really care for football because they know, like, it's kind of like an insult to soccer. So
I get trying to make the money,
but
you know, trying to get as much of an audience as possible. But I agree with you. I don't think that it makes sense to be flying players overseas, you know, a couple times a year. I actually thought it was going to be weird when the Raiders were actually considering going to London until the Vegas stadium opened up. So there was a short little you know, thought process of actually bringing the Raiders to London for the 2019 season, and I thought that was going to be terrible.
But
that's just terrible.
But just the way football is scheduled, it's just not. That doesn't work for guys flying across country and you know what I mean.
Yeah, they already put so much pressure on their body, so it's it's terrible. But
I don't like it.
NFL, get it together. If you want to do a special game, bring it to Manning Bowl.
Manning Field now.
Yeah, Manning Field.
Bring it to Manning Field. We'll be more than glad to host the NFL game. Other NFL news, Cam Newton had off-season shoulder surgery. He's been pretty much, they had to shut him down because of he had surgery issues from the second half of the season. He was hurt. So he had surgery. They say he's expected to make a full recovery. Not sure if he's going to miss any time during the regular season, but I mean, it's a good thing he got it out the way. Cam Newton is the Panthers. He's their best players, and the Panthers have, you know, they've done a terrible job of actually trying to protect him. They've done an extremely terrible job since his rookie year to protect him, and you know, he's your prize asset, and you did a terrible job. Yeah,
I definitely would say that. I mean, he's been taking ridiculous hits for the past like 2-3 years, and it's been kind of like. It's been known. Everybody talks about it, but the league really doesn't do much about it. And he also has to be smarter about some of the hits that he's willing to take. Like, you got to slide more. Sometimes you got to throw it out the back, throw it away more. He has to be a smarter QB because we know he's a physical specimen, but he has to understand that he wants longevity in this league. Like,
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think that, you know, they do need to get him more protection, but, you know, I think that he forgets because of how big he is that, you know, he's still a human being too. And if you're putting yourself in harm's way to take all these hits, that's contributing to the fact that you have the shoulder injury. You know, I think I heard something about them saying a possibility of him maybe even sitting out the 2019 season. And with a quarterback like that, that can't be a terrible idea. You know, bring Colin Kaepernick in, let him play a season. We want to see Colin Kaepernick see if he can play football again. You know, bring him in for one season as like a publicity stunt, give Cam Newton some time to rest, even if he comes in halfway through the season. You know, it will bring people to the stadium. That's going to sell concessions. You know, Colin Kaepernick right now is kind of like a poster child, so to bring him on for even a half a season, you know, to give Cam Newton a little bit more rest helps your team out. Yeah, I mean,
it definitely won't hurt if he sat out a season. Maybe now they'll learn. Maybe we should get like a viable backup quarterback for when Cam is out, because who was their backup quarterback?
Anderson?
No.
No?
I don't exactly.
Yeah. I don't remember. He played like the last 2 games.
Yeah, he played. There was some guy from somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, he was like some older dude.
Yeah, so they need a viable backup quarterback for him in order to keep the ship flowing. So Panthers, get it together. But I mean,
wasn't it that like old dude who hadn't played football in like 3 years?
Probably. There's too many of them.
I don't remember.
There's too many of them going around. Other NFL news from the Super Bowl. So Devin McCourty. We're gonna start with Devin McCourty and Gronk. So they've hinted at possibility of retirement after the Super Bowl. Devin McCourty said he'd consider if they won the Super Bowl just for the fact that he won a Super Bowl with his brother. So, you know, he'd consider retiring. But I mean, I'm sure there's other things that plays into it. But that was one of the things he said. There was more he probably said, but that caught my attention. So
I mean, I think it's pretty dope to win the Super Bowl with your twin brother. Like, if that's what he wants to do, I'm I'm supportive with it. But I would say if you're able to still continue and play at a high level, then play as long as you can. You know.
But some people just we're seeing it now more often. Some people retire earlier than most NFL players usually retire. Most productive NFL players usually retire just because health reasons.
A lot of medical problems.
Yeah, all that CTE and all that other stuff that goes in it. So they, a lot of players now are taking their careers and they're holding it accountable to themselves. They're like, I'll retire on my terms. So.
I love Devin McCourty, and it would be terrible to see him retire, but he's given us some great years. He's played some great football for us. So if he decided that he wanted to hang it up, I just say thank you for all you've done for our team. But I would like to see him play more years. I get it. It would be very, a great moment to win a ring with your brother and then be able to walk away with a handful of them and say, that's a wrap. I'm going to spend time with my family and avoid any more injuries or pain that I may get. So like I said, as a Patriots fan, I say I hope you can stay longer. But if not, thanks for everything you've done.
Also, Gronk. This has been going on all season. They've been hints of him possibly. This might be his last season as an NFL player. He might retire after this season. He hasn't said what he'll do, but I'm guessing it's something he's considering because he did consider it after the last Super Bowl. So I mean, for a guy like him, he's been hurt a lot. So I mean,
I was gonna say, like, out of those two, I would understand if Gronk retired before McCourty just because of his injuries, and they was thinking about considering trading him, and he was saying, I'm not going anywhere unless I'm with Brady. So he probably just wants to retire Pat, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially. And I like how a lot of these players are taking their career into their own hands compared to letting the NFL decide when it's time for them to go. You know what I mean? Because they know their bodies are their temple, and NFL is just ready to run you ragged until you can't compete anymore, and then they spit you out, and you got all these medical issues. They're like, nah, I want to be able to watch my kids grow up, do a lot more, and be a normal human being for the rest of my life. Yeah,
definitely. And also, Gronk is one of the most marketable players. So, I mean, even if he retires, he is one. His personality will get him into a lot of things post.
Absolutely.
NFL, so.
Like, I think if there is a player on the Patriots that should retire, it would be Gronk. Like, same as Devin McCourty, man. He's given us so much. He's the best tight end that there's ever been. And I don't think that there's an argument on that. Yeah. Like, he is the best that there's ever been. Like, I think if we win this whether we win the Super Bowl or not, he's retiring on top. The only reason for Gronk to not retire is to help other tight ends along, maybe be there more for, giving training and whatnot and working on the offensive line. But this dude's taken so much punishment over the years, and he's done that to get us to the top of the mountain every year. I think that it's definitely time for him to wrap it up. He was ready to go last year. Like you said, they were going to trade him to the Lions. He said, if you trade me, I'll retire. And that's a mark of somebody who is ready to go. Right now, you're just playing because it's fun. Now you've made your money, and he can play. He can go to the WWE. They've already offered him a deal.
But when Gronk said that, you just got to look at Gronk. You're like, look, this is one goofy dude. I think he'll be fine.
He'll be 100% fine.
If he doesn't play football once again. He's like, the guy's just. He's like a big goofy dude. He's just
big
goofy.
Party, man. It's a fun time,
life of the party.
Yeah, literally, like the security guard who's a happy-go-lucky.
I think he should go to the WWE. They've already asked him. They want him there. He can make a lot of money. He won't be getting his hurt.
Isn't one of his best friends in the WWE?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, one of his best friends is in the WWE because he said. I remember he said him and the dude's dad and Gronk's dad were college roommates. The IRS man. The IRS man, him and Gronk's dad were roommates in college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I'm not really familiar, but I think he would fit in perfectly there. Gronk's probably gonna have his own reality show or a TV show or something. He's gonna be just fine.
He's gonna trademark.
I look forward to seeing the future non-football Gronk.
Yeah. All right, some more NFL news. This guy Jamal Adams. I don't know if you guys saw him when he tackled the Patriots mascot last week, and I mean the mascot said he's suffering from some soreness or some stuff like that. But if I was that mascot, I would be in a wheelchair. I would have a neck brace. Jamal Adams, you are gonna have to pay me. I would sue him. I would sue if he did that. If I was that mascot, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
You may think it's a joke, but what are you doing? You're just not smart. That's not smart.
No.
Nah.
I think that in one way, you know, it's funny because if it was a Jets mascot and it was, you know, Stephon Gilmore tackling the crap out of him, we'd laugh about it. We'd think it was hilarious. But, you know, you tackled a Patriots player, so now, you know, we want revenge on you. And, you know, it was probably a petty move. It was probably a little bit lame. He's probably gonna have some sort of repercussion for it. But
I don't even think he's gonna have a
no.
They have yet to say nothing's happened.
I wouldn't think it'd be a serious repercussion, as in like a suspension or a fine or anything. But you know, calm as a bee.
Yeah, he got to remember too. Like he's a big boy compared to that little guy in the mascot costume. Like, come on, man. Like he's still a human being in there. Like you don't.
And he didn't come to play football.
No, not at all. And you got pads on. This is during the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, this is
during the skills challenge.
Okay, all right.
And I don't even think the mascot ever saw him. I don't think he ever saw him.
It's funny, but
I'd be in a neck brace,
yeah,
in a wheelchair, and I'd be demanding
something. You already know. Once a professional athlete put his hand on you, it's a check coming.
Well, definitely so. But I mean, what can you expect from Jets? They're not that bright.
It's gonna be a meme soon.
Pretty much, but yeah, it's still the Jets. They are not that bright. That whole organization, players, they're not that bright.
No.
This guy's a good player too, but
that's why they can't make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, and they won't either. They hired Adam Gase. See what happened in Miami, but we don't know. All we know is how to win. We don't know nothing about losing like those New Yorkers.
Yep.
All right. Last NFL update we got here. So this, I believe, Saturday they will be announcing who will be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame later on this year. So we got the 15 finalists this year. Steve Atwater, Champ Bailey, Tony Baselli, Isaac Bruce, Don Coryell, Alan Faneca, I think that's a lineman, Tom Flores, Tony Gonzalez, Steve Hutchinson, Edgerrin James, Ty Law, John Lynch, Kevin Mawai, Ed Reed, and Richard Seymour. So out of those people that I named, who do you think should be a lock?
Tony Gonzalez, all day. I love Tony Gonzalez. Yeah, before Gronk, that's the man right there. That would be my number one pick.
Your number one pick is TG?
TG, baby.
I'm a big TG guy. I'm gonna go with Ed, man. You know I'm a U guy, and Ed Reed's one of my favorite players.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I think what I'm seeing right here, they're saying those two are pretty much a lock. Ed Reed and Tony Gonzalez. And Ed Reed's probably the greatest, one of the greatest safety of the top two.
Oh yeah.
I think Ty Law should get in.
Absolutely.
I think Ty Law and Richard Seymour should get in just because of what they did. They got 3 rings. They got the stats to back it up. And also Isaac Bruce. I think Isaac Bruce should get in. I think he's over 10,000 receiving yards. I think he has over 10,000 catches as well too. But
nice.
Yeah, Isaac Bruce, he was a cornerstone for the greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
So I think he should get in.
All 3 of those players were cornerstones of some. I won't say dynasty for the Rams, but for us definitely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think Steve Atwater is gonna get it. I don't know why, but I think he's gonna get it.
Yeah.
Even though he played for the Broncos, I didn't like him, but for some reason, linemen always get in.
Yeah. And I like Champ Bailey and I like Edgerrin James too. I just don't know if it's their time yet.
I don't think
it's their time. I like both those players, but I just don't think it's their time.
Lynch?
Yeah, John Lynch.
That was my guy.
John Lynch.
He used to take the soul out of it.
He might get in. I think John Lynch might get in. So I think John Lynch
he was
might
definitely
get in.
Maybe
we should get a preemptive Brady into the Hall of Fame. Like, just he's still playing, but he gets to go.
He should probably be one. He should be the only guy.
The NBA did it with Shaq and Iverson. They didn't have to wait the 5 years.
Yeah.
They waited about 3 years and then they got him.
I feel like waiting no years. Like he's still playing.
For obvious players.
Yeah. I feel like if he wins the Super Bowl, they should be like, well, along with winning the Super Bowl, we're going to induct you into the Hall of Fame, whether you keep playing or not.
Yeah, like Peyton Manning, they should have already inducted him right after he retired. He should have been inducted. So.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
They should put us on that Hall of Fame board. We'd
make the right moves.
Yeah, NFL, holler at us. Cut that check. All right, that's enough NFL news for one day. Super Bowl Sunday. Well, predictions coming, but first let's get into some NBA. NBA, the greatest drama on television. This is the biggest soap opera on TV, the NBA. There's always something happening in the NBA. Anthony Davis's agent announced that they won't be resigning. So
yes,
pretty much telling the Pelicans, you might want to trade him because he's not resigning. And now he was fined $50K Anthony Davis was fined $50,000 for tampering. I guess they broke some collective bargaining rule, but.
Man, honestly, like, I'm not big on having another man speak for me, for one. Like, but I'm not gonna really voice that out for the public to see, especially the way the world is nowadays. I'm gonna go to the front office and discuss my issues with them, and we can't come to an agreement, then we just gotta agree, disagree, and move on. But like, you're really getting fined $50,000?
Yeah.
Like, that's stupid.
He's making $25 million this year.
But it's just the point, though, like, that much, I get it, like, they're trying to get some of their money back, but, you know what I mean? That's a little ridiculous, though. Like, just because a man said a statement.
And it's not like something we all didn't know. I've been saying this since last year. Anthony Davis is going to be a Laker at some point. So he's just letting it known that I'm not resigning. And I don't blame him. The Pelicans kind of, well, they did a decent job of putting good players around him, but they didn't do a great job of keeping those players. Last year, they had a great season. What they do, they let Rondo go. They let a couple other players go. They let Cousins go. And, you know, those were some key guys to the team, and it's just like, well, now we got to start from scratch.
But my whole thing is also with them, it's like they always want to hop on the player and talk about what he doesn't or she doesn't want to do. What about the organization? Not even helping the man out, and the man's been loyal for almost 6 years now. Like, what, you want to be KG and waste 4 more years and then finally move on? Like, come on, man. Like, look, honestly, when you're getting paid to do something, like, loyalty really isn't there. Like, cause it's a business. Ain't no loyalty there, man. So he should do what he wants, man.
To me, it's exciting because I know at least for the last 2 years, they've been talking about Anthony Davis, possibility of coming to the Celtics, and to me that would be awesome. You know, I think, you know, maybe dropping a first-round pick, you know, maybe throwing Gordon Hayward and Al Horford.
For a player like Anthony Davis, you just were like, listen, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want?
I don't know if I'd go as far as what do you want, because they're going to say Tatum, and I'm not giving up Tatum.
You got to exclude a couple people. You're like, listen, leave these guys alone, but what do you want? Yeah. Because the Celtics, they're going to have a bunch of draft picks that they could give the Pelicans. They got decent players that could give the Pelicans to still make them competitive. Yeah. So, I mean,
I think getting rid of Gordon Hayward would be probably the best move for the Celtics, because last year Tatum and Jaylen Brown played way better without Gordon Hayward on the team. You bring in Anthony Davis, the big man we have been lacking since we lost Kevin Garnett. So,
yeah, we'll see what happens. And also, I mean, listen, he don't want to be there. Let him go.
And he's friends with Kyrie. Kyrie and him have had, you know, somewhat personal conversations. I've heard Kyrie trying to coax him into coming to the Celtics. I think that'd be awesome.
They have a chance, but I mean, we'll see what happens. But the Celtics, they can't trade for him now because of collective bargaining deal. Any trade they make for him, they got to put Kyrie Irving in that trade. So, but Celtics are smart. They should just wait out and see what happens
until July.
Yeah, because they have the chips in their corners for this one. The Lakers got to make a move ASAP. They have to make a move ASAP.
They better not get him.
They got Los Angeles always gets at least two stars, so he's gonna be in Los Angeles. I've been saying this for a while.
It better not happen.
Other NBA news: the Warriors, they won 11 in a row. These guys are on a hot streak. Ever since that buzzer beater to Houston, these guys have been on a roar. They've been on a tear. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson have been shooting the lights out. Did you see him? What he did? He started shimmying against the Celtics. The ball wasn't even in yet. He was.
I'll be honest, man. I'm not surprised by this little 11-game streak. Now, you just said like 15, 20-game streak. I might have raised an eyebrow, but they got Cousins in the paint now. Like, man, what are you really gonna do? Yeah. Like, you got 2 of the best shooters that really ever played a game. Yeah. Really 3, because
3. It's definitely.
No. KD's a great shooter, but he's not shooting like them two. Yeah. They're shooters. He's a scorer. You know what I mean? So it's a little different. But you got 3 of the best shooters ever, in our reality. And then you got DeMarcus Cousins, man, like.
Yeah, God, they can just throw the ball in the post. And I even watched it during the Celtics. Game.
What are you gonna do?
Like you saw during the Celtics game, they just threw the ball to him in the post, and everybody was out the perimeter. What'd he do? And bucket.
And then he does that in the post. Then he step out in the three and splash it on you a couple times too, because he can shoot that thing. So it's like, and he can shoot it. So it's like, what are you really gonna do?
Yeah, there's nothing much you can do but just pray.
I think it's more surprising when Warriors lose a game than when they have win streaks. Like with a team as good as you have, if you're not having a double-digit game winning streaks, like that's a problem. Like how are you losing games with the squad you have put together? It doesn't even make sense. I can't think of a squad that you should be playing where like people should be like, I wonder if the Warriors are gonna win. Like it's weird. It's weird to say that because you should win every game.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, I think whenever they lose, I think it's because they have no interest or they're bored. Because literally, when you have a team that talented, you're bored.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for that. Quickly, before we go to some other NBA news, the Celtics and the Warriors played this past Saturday, and yeah, that's Steph and them doing their thing. Klay Thompson, he's just, he dunked on somebody the other day too. As we watch these highlights of these guys, there's nothing you could do. You just look at it. It's, yeah. Not much you can do about that. Not much you can do about that. But the Celtics and Warriors played this past Saturday. It was a great game. Warriors won 111-113.
It was a good game. Kyrie always comes to play. He always gives Steph some buckets, but it's just one of them. It's one of them teams. The Warriors just have too much firepower. It's just.
Yeah. But thing is, the Celtics box out the shooter. That's all you have to do is box out the shooter. You had a chance you would have had a chance to tie the game, or you could have won the game with a three. Just box out the shooter. Nobody boxed out the shooter. I'm not going to say this player, but he didn't box out the shooter. I said I'd be nice to him this year. So he's been playing well, but he had a moment of why I always talk about him.
But he is the person that usually would box out the shooter.
Where's the Celtics, D? You know, last year we had one of the best defenses in the NBA. It doesn't seem like necessarily we have that this year.
Yeah, I don't.
You know where D starts, man. It starts right here. Yeah. You ain't got no heart and cojones. Like you ain't gonna D nobody up.
Yeah. Quickly before we move on, some All-Star news, some NBA All-Star news. So I'm gonna read down some of the East All-Stars. I think these are the starters: Kemba Walker, Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie Irving, Joel Embiid, and the Greek Freak. Those are the East starters. And the Greek Freak is what is going to be the captain of the East. So for the West, LeBron, of course, James Harden, Paul George, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and LeBron's going to be the captain. So they're going to have a draft, I think, on February 7th or something like that.
For the bench.
I think they announced that tomorrow, the bench, and then they're going to have their draft, which is going to be televised, which is going to be interesting. So All-Star Weekend's coming up, and we're trying to get tickets. NBA, holler at us. Give us media credentials.
Let's go.
Like that. No, we're trying to be in there. All right, what we got? What else we got here? Oh, we got Athletes Corner. So last night LCTV won 3 awards at the Massachusetts Creators Awards ceremony. So we got 3. Here's one you're going to watch. This is a sports one. This took the sports topic. Training for Olympic boxing team with Private Jewels Fitness. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to come back and somehow wrap this up. And, yeah.
Hi, my name is Charles Espinal. I'm 23. I'm from St. Louis, Mass, and I train here in Lynn out of Private Jewels Fitness. A little bit about my boxing background is I've been boxing for 9 years. I've trained in gyms like West End Gym in Lowell out of Mickey Ward. I've trained out of Haverhill. I've trained out of Peabody.
Hi, my name is Daniel Marte, and I go to KIP, and I'm 12 years old, and I'm a boxer at Private Jewels Fitness. What it made me learn was discipline and hard work. I just keep on working hard and stuff, and just like trying to get motivated and stuff. What coaches say to me is like, oh, keep on going, you got this, and then like they motivate me to keep on trying harder. So like if I'm tired, they like more like talk to me like, oh, you can be you can win, you can do it, and then just not give up.
You know, the kids are the ones that need to get to the next level. So our jobs as coaches is to facilitate them to get there. You know, the safety, you know, making sure that their dreams are getting met. Because, you know, the kid could work hard, but he's also a coach. I have to work hard along with them. Because if a kid is going 100 miles per hour, a coach better be going 150.
Yeah, getting these kids, you know, prepared for the Olympics. You know, obviously we're stepping it up a notch. But you know, our motto is right there on the beam. It's you know, you train, you fight, and you win. So to me, you know, the real work is and the fight is always won inside the gym, day in and day out.
The kid could go as much as a club could go. So, you know, you have to just give it 100% with these kids along with them. Show them that you care, show them that their progress means something, not just for themselves, but for their future and everybody around, because they're just becoming role models.
One thing is that I can use in both is self-defense, and another is my goal in boxing is to like become a champ like Mayweather and like Muhammad Ali and stuff.
And for us to train and trying to get into the Olympics and have that chance is just, it's awesome. And I love fighting in that national exposure, and I love the thought of representing this part of Massachusetts.
Well, the beautiful thing is the diversity. That's one thing that why I love my city, a great city of Lynn, because of the great diversity that we have. In boxing, it's huge diversity. We got people, they fighting from Mexico, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Ireland, Canada.
I'm so grateful that Alex and you know, was able to give me his facility and allow me to grow in the sport of boxing. How it came to, I wanted to go to the championship, and then after that, I started seeing, you know, these kids coming into the gym that, you know, basically were coming in through the same situation that I was. You know, they didn't have a lot of guidance. They were coming in off of the street. So it was a privilege for me to be able to take these kids and hone their skills, help them to hone their skills, and you know, become great fighters. And obviously, you know, get them off the street, get them out of these gangs, you know, make them, you know, give them something to do that was productive and that could build their self-esteem, so that they could have an outlet to use.
It's not the problem is within the gym, it's when they leave the gym. You know, the outside struggles, you know, the energy out there, negative energy that are always tempting these kids to just, you know, get off their way to reach their goals. But these kids still come here after all the problems, everything's going on, stay here and just give it 100%.
But it's all about how bad you want it. And the more you want it, the harder you're willing to work. And we work really hard in this gym, especially with this heat.
Push yourself, you know, and trust the process, because it's not going to be easy.
You know, at the end of the day, it's just a relationship that all the coaches here, it's not just me, because legit, this is a family. It's not just me, and I'm not going to take all the glory for myself. It's my staff, my team, especially my team, my coaches. Kids helping each other here. You know, we work together, combined as one, that is just works like peanut butter and jelly. This is all for great sports, for one cause, you know, so everybody to get there, we all need to work together. Teamwork, we made the dream work. That's how we do it.
We're back. We're back. We're gonna talk a little WWE. WWE Royal Rumble happened this past Saturday, but we ain't gonna talk about this past Saturday's Royal Rumble. I'll just go down the winners real quick. Seth Rollins and the lady that calls herself the Man, they won the Royal Rumble match. Yeah, she calls herself the Man.
That's weird. Like, just the Man? Like,
that's one of her nicknames.
Does she have a beard?
No, she doesn't. But
is she hot?
Is she 6'3"?
No, she ain't 6'3". but yeah, she calls herself the Man.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
we
whatever.
live, this is, yeah.
Call yourself what you want in this world nowadays.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar's the Universal Champ. He defeated somebody by the name of Finn Balor. I don't know who that is. Maybe I should have had Dave on here, because Dave's pretty knowledgeable on this wrestling. The WWE champion, the new Daniel Bryan defeated AJ Styles.
I know AJ Styles.
I know AJ
I heard of
Styles.
him.
Daniel Bryan's the guy that says yes all the time. That goes yes, yes. Becky Lynch, that's the girl. That's her name.
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch, that's the one that calls herself the Miz.
Okay, we all like Becky. You know what I'm talking about.
So while we talk about the Royal Rumble, what's you guys' favorite Royal Rumble in the history of the WWE or Royal Rumble moment? Mine has to be The Rock and Big Show. That's probably one of mine. When The Rock feet hit the ground first, but he eliminated the Big Show, and then the Big Show went on a 2-month-long crying rant about how The Rock's feet hit first. It was the funniest thing in the world. That's probably one of mine. And I think when The Undertaker got attacked by like 20 men, I think that happened in one of the Royal Rumbles.
Yeah.
And they had to get Chuck Norris to come in for the next time him and Yokozuna fought.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
random. WWE.
I'll be honest, all my Royal Rumbles kind of like mashed together, but Stone Cold won one, right? You won a couple. That's probably one of my favorite ones. I forgot exactly what happened, but you know, that Rock one was a good one too.
I think that was when he went on his rant and the Austin 316 came out the first time.
It might have been.
Austin 316 just whooped your behind.
I think my favorite does have to do with Stone Cold, and it's when it was his turn to come down, and there's like 15, 20 dudes in the ring, and I think there was actually a bounty on him too.
Probably.
Like I think they put money, like someone put a bounty on him, so everybody's waiting for him, and they're facing the ramp, and Stone Cold come out from behind doing his shake leg stomp and knocking dudes out, throwing them over the ring. And that was a pretty dope moment for me in Royal Rumble history. But that Royal Rumbles was always my favorite.
Yeah.
You know. It always got a little hectic, but it was just, all your favorite wrestlers at one time.
Yeah, one of my favorite ones. Well, this wasn't actually the Royal Rumble. This was after. It was Billy Gunn won the Royal Rumble.
Billy Gunn.
Yeah, he won the Royal Rumble. And then the next day, The Rock went on a promo, and basically, whatever chance Billy Gunn had of becoming the WWE champion from that, or him being the main character, The Rock's promo just
slapped
put
it out the way.
Literally slapped him out the way and put it. And Billy Gunn was never World Wrestling Federation champion.
Wow.
Good memories. Wrestling.
I love it.
wrestling.
You know what I used to love about wrestling? Remember like the challenger wrestler? Like the no name.
No name was always.
Like the only person that come out of that was 1, 2, 3 Kid.
X-Pac. I remember that.
First it was 1, 2, 3 Kid, then it was 6 Pac,
Who'd he
then
beat,
X-Pac. He beat the $1 Million Man.
Yep.
And
That was like 93 or
Yo, it was early. He beat the $1 Million Man.
And he beat somebody else.
Then, he beat the $1 Million Man. Then the $1 Million Man wanted a rematch for $1 million.
He wouldn't do it.
No, he did it.
He did?
He won, grabbed the suitcase and dipped out.
And then him and Razor Ramon had something, and
Yep.
he beat Razor Ramon a couple times, but before they became a tag team.
Yeah, crazy.
1, 2, 3 Kid. He had look, what do you have? Like the little karate stuff on, the blue
Yeah,
stuff with like the shin guards.
it was almost like a legit wrestling thing too, like the shorts, tank top, combo.
Remember when The Rock was before The Rock was The
Rocky
Rock,
Maivia.
He was so goofy,
So
with his
corny.
hair.
The extra slick back, Jeremy, or like the slick high top, because he didn't have the nappy
That
hair.
was literally like typical defining
Yeah.
the 90s look. That was the 90s look right there.
It's terrible.
Glad he
Yeah, it
shook
was
that
tough.
one.
Yeah,
Glad he shook
and-
that.
it was
And
terrible.
wrestling had one of the greatest race wars of all time, the Canadian Stampede versus the Nation of Domination. You know, if that happened with the internet, it would have been a problem.
Oh,
my
definitely.
gosh,
It would have been an
definitely.
outcry.
It'd be leading CNN, NBC, Fox News. It'd be the leading headline every single day. But yeah, also my favorite is the tables, ladders, and chairs. Those.
Oh man, those are always awesome.
Who's your favorite wrestler?
Mine, it gotta be Randy Savage, of course.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good
Randy
one.
Savage.
Damn, Randy Savage.
That's a good one.
Yo.
I'm a warrior, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
I'm
see,
a warrior.
him and
I'm
Mean
a
Gene.
Ultimate Warrior.
Randy Savage and Mean Gene, their promos.
You know
hilarious.
what? For me, it was always Shawn Michaels.
I
Because
know.
I love the Rockers. And then he became his own, and
Yeah.
he gave Marty Jannetty Sweet Chin music through the door.
Tossed him through the glass.
Yeah, man.
But Kane was also Kane when he first came out.
Kane was a debacle, though.
Yeah.
Full body burn, then it's like one arm's good, then two arms is good.
It was like they should have just kept it how it was.
Then he takes his whole mask off.
Whole mask comes off.
Face normal.
That's when I was like, after he took the mask off, that's when I was like, all right, come on now. You guys just ruined one of
Y'all remember Undertaker had a twin? You remember that? He had like the light purple.
Yeah.
Undertaker had the
Really?
dark purple. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what I loved about Undertaker, it will never ever get old, is the straight sit-up.
Oh yeah. Undertaker's
got
probably
memes
the
about
greatest,
that.
man.
Yeah, man. Yo, he had like the longest streak of never losing in a WrestleMania. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, definitely.
He's the greatest, man.
Definitely. We just went on a whole wrestling rant.
We did go on a wrestling rant. Wrestling used to be great.
Nostalgic, man.
Yeah, it was. Lastly, before we go to our predictions, LaMelo Ball isn't on the McDonald's All-American team. Like, what kind of
Not
nonsense?
surprised.
What kind of
Do we
nonsense
care
is
about
that?
LaMelo Ball?
I don't think they want the
Controversy.
extra attention, the controversy, and it's like he went overseas. Now he's with Spire. I don't know what class they're in prep school or division they're in whatsoever. And it's like they just don't want all that attention, and they probably don't want the LeVar.
Yeah, nobody wants that dude. Yo, that's the most like riding your kid's coattails to make yourself famous.
Coming next college basketball season, that's gonna be finding out if LaMelo's eligible or not. That's gonna be one of the biggest storyline of college.
I thought he
basketball.
wasn't eligible because his dad gave him a sneaker.
I don't know.
Wasn't that the whole thing? His
for
dad gave him a
college?
sneaker, and it made him ineligible to play for college, and that's why he went overseas. And then his brother followed him because he got arrested.
Yeah, I don't really.
I said LaMelo. We talking about. That is LaMelo.
Yeah, LaMelo, the younger
But that's
brother,
still
right?
the dumbest thing. Yeah, that's the youngest one. But that's still dumb. You got a sneaker now. You NCAA.
I don't think they really.
Because it's technically an endorsement deal, and you can't get endorsements in college.
NCAA.
Yeah.
Once again, they're ridiculous.
Also, too, with the McDonald's All-American thing, like they like to get guys that are like humble as well.
Yeah.
So that might not be his strongest suit.
I mean, I think that, you know, I agree with you. In some ways, it's ridiculous, the rule. But at the end of the day, I think the dad deserved what he got for his sons, because, you know, you're not above the rules, and that's what he thought he was. He thought he was this god because, you know, because of his oldest son, he gets on wrestling and talk shows. Like, you're literally stealing your kid's moment. This is his moment, and you're stealing it, you know. And I hated that. I think his kids got what their dad deserved.
Well, I mean, he'll be playing basketball somewhere at some point. So, prediction time. Score for the Super Bowl. Score for the Super Bowl.
I'm gonna say 31-27 Patriots.
Damn. I'm gonna go with the same exact.
I'm gonna go with 35-21 Patriots. Brady Super Bowl MVP. Parade next week. Get it done, because I can't deal with another Super Bowl loss. I can't. All right. So
I'm gonna step on your toes and say that James White will actually be the MVP of the Super Bowl.
We'll see. You guys been watching After the Whistle. See you guys next week. I want to thank Craig. I want to thank Todd. Pedro back there kind of messed us up a little bit in the beginning, but Pedro's our guy. We love Pedro. All right, guys. You guys have a great one. We'll see you guys another time. We ain't got no music.